Hi friends, today we're going to read a new story, but before we do, we're going to talk about the author's purpose for writing a piece of text. Remember that text is any kind of written word. It could be a poem, it could be a book, it could be a story. And when we talk about the author's purpose for writing something, we're talking about the reason or why an author would write something. If you'll notice on my whiteboard, I have 3 letters up here, P-I-E, that actually spells the word pie. Now, the P stands for persuade. Sometimes an author will want to try and persuade his or her readers to think a certain way or feel a certain way. Here's an example. If I love chocolate cake, which I do, if I think chocolate cake is the best flavor of cake in the whole wide world, which I do, then I'm going to write words in a story or a book that's going to try and draw in my reader to feel the same way, okay? The I stands for information. Sometimes an author's purpose or reason for writing something will be to give out information, like an informational text. Give out facts, details, things that are true. The E stands for entertain. Sometimes an author will want to just entertain his or her readers, make them laugh, make them cry, make them feel a certain way. Now, the book that we're reading today is called Atlantic. The author is G. Brian Karras. The author's purpose for writing this book is actually going to be more on the informational side, giving some information about the Atlantic. The Atlantic is the name of an ocean in the world. Let's get started. Atlantic by G. Brian Karras. I am the Atlantic Ocean. I begin where the land runs out, at the end of yards and streets and hills. I am the blue water at the beach, the waves, mist and storms. That salty smell is me too. Notice as I read, the author uses the word I. It's kind of like the author is wanting the ocean to be the one talking about himself in the story. I think the author does that to kind of draw the reader in, to make the reader more interested. And what kinds of things do you see on this page? The sun, people, the sand at the seashore, some rain. I stretch from the icy poles north and south. I rub shoulders with North America and bump into Africa. I slosh around South America and crash into Europe. But I don't end there. The Pacific and Indian, Arctic and Antarctic are my relatives. We are one big family. Remember, friends, as we talk about anything in nature, remember that God is the creator of all things. He made the oceans. He made the land. He sets all of this in place right where he wants it to be. And this is talking about how all of these different places are one big family. It's all part of God's world, and it all works together. My water doesn't just stay in one place. It travels from continent to continent. So that iceberg floating past someone's window one day will sometime find itself lapping at your toes on a warm, sandy beach. All of these arrows are showing that the ocean is kind of alive. It's traveling all the time. Sometimes the ocean might be a frozen iceberg. Once it melts, it might end up at the beach, being the water that you put your toes into. My fingers stretch out. Bays and inlets reach far into the land. Gulfs, seas, sounds, and channels lead to me and into me. They are me. Now, when you look at this, the blue is what? The blue is water. The green and brown part is what? the land. I am here day and night, heaving, raging, or lying still, scraping away at some land and putting it someplace else bit by bit. My shape changes as it has for ages, sometimes growing, sometimes shrinking, never staying still. The water is always moving. God is the one who sets the water into motion. Sometimes if the water is very rough, it will wear away the land. It means it will kind of tear the land away and change the way the land looks. The sun, so many millions of miles away, heats my water, which turns into clouds and storms that rain into me. And it starts all over again. I love this page right here, boys and girls. You see the yellow sun. You see clouds. The clouds have raindrops falling out of them. And then the sun will warm the water and cause it to go back up into the clouds. The moon, so far out into space, pulls at me and then lets go. So my tides go in and out, ebb and flood. The moon is actually what causes the water to have high tide and low tide at the beach. And God sets all of that into motion. First, I was discovered, even though I was here first, and then conquered by men in big ships who named me. I've been crossed and probed, charted, studied, dirtied. What that means is, many years ago, there were men that I believe God chose to give names to these bodies of water. And these bodies of water have been studied. Down here, you can see someone with a light looking for things at the bottom of the ocean. And the word that sticks out to me on this page is dirtied. Unfortunately, sometimes even we can make the water around our world dirty. We can leave trash and cause pollution. Fishermen know me. They know my oyster beds and seek out my schools of fish with hooks and nets, long lines and traps. On this page, do you see the net and the fish? What do the fishermen use to catch the fish? Hooks and nets. What is the name of a group of fish? A school of fish. Artists paint pictures of me with cerulean, cobalt, and ultramarine, and poets know me with their beautiful words. Now, these words on this page are pretty big. Cerulean, cobalt, and ultramarine, those are all colors. What colors do you think those are? That's right, they are all in the shade of blue. You have probably seen those words, those names on some of your crayons before. The dancing shadow of your airplane skips over wave, with dolphins who sing and race, with skates and whales and fish that fly. Remember, all of these animals in the ocean God created. Seagulls sing to me, sand and pebbles rattle and clatter a chorus as I rush in and pull away. My words crash and whisper in your ear. Don't forget I'm here. Can you see that little boy is holding up a big seashell to his ear? And if you do that, some say you can hear the ocean. I am the Atlantic Ocean. Now on this page, the author has written many words to give us information. Some thoughts about me. I'm not the Earth's largest ocean. That is the Pacific. If you were to empty me of all my water, you would find deep trenches. I move about in giant currents. I, the Atlantic Ocean, have been around for ages. And I continue to grow a couple of inches wider each year. But as old as I am, and as strong as I can be, I am in danger. What doesn't belong in my water are chemicals and people wastes, oil and garbage. Please treat me with respect. That is the end of our book. And again, remember, the author's purpose was to teach us, give us some information and facts about the Atlantic Ocean and oceans in our world overall in general. And I love the fact that we can know that God made every animal in the ocean, and he makes the tides go in and out, and he creates the currents of water, and he causes the water to travel where he wants it. I hope you enjoyed this book. Have a good day.